Hey everybody, it's Mark Wallace, and this is Keith Kessler right here, and we're going to do another episode of portfolio reviews. And the thing is, we're going to add in some stuff. Keith is a photographer who I've known. How long have we known each other?
Oh,
4 years, 5 years?
4 years, 5, yeah, somewhere around there, probably four-ish.
Something like that. So Keith is an incredible photographer, and so I thought, why not? I'll have Keith come and help me.
I have no shortage of opinions.
None.
So just ask anyone I work with.
That's true.
Yeah.
So the cool thing is, we've been trying to do more portfolio reviews and more photo reviews. So we're going to add that as well. So in the past, we just did portfolio reviews. But in this portfolio review session, we're going to actually start reviewing and talking about the pictures in the portfolios as well. Because the feedback we got was, hey, tell me about my pictures. Are they good? Are they bad? Do they need some room for improvement? And so absolutely, we're going to be doing that as well. And so I posted on Facebook, and we had just tons of people this morning send us some photos and portfolios for review. And so that's what we're going to do. And so if you're not watching, by the way, on Snap Factory, that's where you should be watching this. That's where all the chat interaction is. And so you should zip over to snapfactory.com/live. That's where you should be watching this. So if you're not, zip over there, snapfactory.com/live. And Keith is going to be monitoring all of the chat stuff.
I am all over the chat. We already have several people in chat. We've got your boy Joey Joyner's there.
Joey
already.
Joyner.
So yeah, got another one from Baja, Mexico, and Cairo, Egypt.
Sweet. Yeah, I met
we're
Joey
global, you know?
yesterday, day before yesterday, Monday night.
Yeah, I saw the picture.
It was
like
cool.
Fun.
It was a blast.
Yeah.
We had barbecue, and I had meat sweats after.
Well, you were in Texas. That's what you've got to eat, right?
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. Steak. Slap it and throw it on the plate. Anyway, the nice thing about this is we have been trying to do more of these, and it is we have found somebody that's willing to partner with us, and that's Squarespace. And so Squarespace, I never really talk about products unless I believe in them. And so Squarespace called and said, what do you think? Maybe we could have a partnership. And so I'm like, let me check it out. And so I've been doing a lot of looking through Squarespace, looking at people that have been using Squarespace as their portfolio and their website. And I'm super impressed. And so we're glad that Squarespace is now here to help us bring these to you. In fact, we have a little thing to let you know that you can save 10%. So Matt, roll that right now. This episode is brought to you by Squarespace, the all-in-one platform that makes it fast and easy to create your own professional website or online portfolio. For a free trial and 10% off your first purchase, go to squarespace.com and use offer code SNAPFactory. Awesome, yeah, so use that offer code. It's SNAPFactory. Just go to squarespace.com. And then use the offer code SNAPFactory. And if you do that, you get 10% off your first purchase, and you can also get a free trial, and it helps us bring you more free content. And so we really appreciate Squarespace. In fact, we're going to be doing some stuff about, half an hour from now, something like that, where we're going to dive in and create a gallery and do some things with Squarespace. So cool. Well, what we want to do here is we want to do a portfolio review, and I want to just give a high-level overview of what that means. And so I have this presentation here, and Matt, I hope you have this. Yeah. So our portfolio reviews, they're based on that little formula. And I don't want to forget, check it out on F-Stoppers. I feel like an ad right now. But I forgot. May 28th through June 1st, I'm going to be in the Bahamas at Atlantis doing some workshops there with the F-Stoppers. And not just me. There's going to be a bunch of people there. Peter Hurley's going to be there, Rob Grimm, John Keatley, who's been on How They Do That, and Michael Greco. And so it'll be awesome. So join us there. Just go to fstoppers.com for more information about that. All right, so the portfolio reviews, what we're going to be doing is just remember that my opinion isn't worth a lot.
And mine's even less.
And Keith's is even less. What matters really is what your clients think. And that is true of photos and your portfolio. So take what we say with a grain of salt. Yeah, we've been doing this for years, and we do have some expertise, and some people consider us experts, but it really matters what your clients think. That's who you want to win over. And it's just an opinion. So I might tell you something that you don't agree with, and it's your prerogative to do with whatever you want. So remember that. And just remember, I don't know what I'm talking about. And what I mean is, they're my opinions, right?
Yeah.
And so a lot of times I think it should be done one way, and somebody else thinks it should be done a different way. And if you know better based on some information that you have, then go with that. So a portfolio, by the way, it's more than just pictures. So we are going to be talking about the pictures a lot more this time than we have in the past. But remember, it's your sales pitch. It's the services that you offer, the quality of your work. It's all the information about you, about where you are.
Your brand.
Exactly. And I can't believe how many people just don't put where they are. Like, what city are you in?
Yeah.
I don't know. So put that on your website. We want to know that. And so this should be tailored to your audience. Again, it's your audience that is what matters. And so keep that in mind. And so what we're looking for is a myopic portfolio. In other words,
That's a big word. What does that mean?
myopic. Myopic means single focus. That's what that means. So it's if you're a wedding photographer, you should have wedding stuff, and that's it. If you're a glamour photographer, you should have glamour stuff. And so try not to mix things up where you have, like I've seen a lot of like portfolios where there's like glamour stuff and then little kids. And those, it should never go together. Glamour stuff makes little kids later, I guess.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But on a portfolio, you shouldn't mix stuff like that. Or I've seen a lot of like sports photography and then, elementary school yearbook pictures. Like those shouldn't go together. So we're looking to see how single-minded your portfolio is. And it should also be purpose-driven. So there should be a call to action in your portfolio. Hire me, or look at my work, or buy my online print, something like that. You should have your contact and location information, and you should also have photos that support your call to action. So if you want somebody to hire you as a wedding photographer, you should have wedding pictures, or as a scenic photographer, you should have scenic pictures. And you'd be surprised at how many people mix that up. And your work should not suck. So that's the other thing.
So far, completely logical. I'm following you.
Yeah. So try to have quality work on your website. You should have thumbnails on your website so people can see a high-level overview of what you're doing. Your navigation should be easy. You should have the silent treatment. In other words, you shouldn't open a web page and have those stupid
drives me nuts.
It
I immediately, if I go to a photographer's website and something starts to play, I immediately just close the window. I can't stand it.
Me too. I feel like I'm on MySpace.
Oh,
I'm like, where are the sparkly things that follow my cursor?
Little unicorn with the thing. No.
So, and again, that's my opinion, but shut that off. All right, so we're going to get started. Enough said about that. I didn't talk really much about what we're going to talk about as far as the photography is concerned, but we'll go through the basic rules of composition, line, shape, form, rule of thirds, color composition, looking in, those types of things. If it tells a story, just the basics, we'll be doing that. And so if you're wondering, that's what we're going to be doing. So enough of that. Now, also, Keith, are people actually talking to us in the chat window?
Well, they're talking to each other. They're not so much talking to us, but at least they're entertaining themselves. So
Okay.
That's good. We've got people getting popcorn. I think there's someone having some curry. I think some
nice.
folks are interested in the Bahamas. So
Go to the
I would
Bahamas.
like to go to the Bahamas. So yeah. So far, so good.
So if you ever have any questions and you want to ask us about your work, or even if you want to make a suggestion, just go to the chat window. That's at snapfactory.com/live, snapfactory.com/live. And there's a button there that says click here to open the chat window. Hop in there, and then we can talk to you, and so that will work just fine.
It's fancy new chat. I like it.
It is a fancy new chat, and it's live. So if you ask a question, we can respond live.
I will read it and tell Mark.
Yeah, and I can see somebody just said hi, Mark, and somebody said what up, and somebody's talking about Iggy. And so, yeah, we're actually reading those, and so it's pretty cool. All right, so we are going to start. So one of my friends here, and let's see if I can find it, created a website that just sort of got beaten up a little bit on the last episode, and that was Lance. And let's see if I can find his portfolio. We have a bunch of portfolios here. I'll just grab it from our Facebook page. So if you look at this, Matt, we can show you that there's just tons of people that submitted work. And so one of them was Lance, and he asked for a web redemption because we just really...
I did not. I was not part of the ripping apart of Lance last time. Lance is a wonderful guy. It's Tosh.0 style.
It is.
They do the web redemptions, right?
He asked for a web redemption, and I think we owe it to him. If I can just find it on here with all of these things that we did, because I wanted to start. Here it is. Here it is.
Here we go.
Okay. Lance Eldert. All right. So Lance, here it is. So last time Lance had some issues. his website was black. He had like, I think, a form to contact him. I don't remember what all the issues were, but he'd mixed up a lot of different things. And he just went down in flames. So I think it's worthy of us to take a look at what Lance has done to his website. And I haven't seen it.
Okay.
So I haven't seen it since he redesigned it. And so we're going to just take a look at it here. I'm going to make this full screen. So right off the bat, let's see if it fits up to some of the basic things that we wanted to do. Number one, is it clean? And I think, yes, it's now finally it's clean.
It's very clean.
It looked like an adult site last time.
A little black and shady.
Yeah,
Now it's all
a little
clean,
shady.
Pristine.
So now we have some thumbnails here. We can see that we have beauty photography, kids and family, headshots and portraits.
So do you think that meets the myopic? I mean, you've got a little bit of, that's a sexy picture over there on the left, right next to some kids.
Yeah, so I think it's, I would prefer if these were separated, so you can put Jan Brewer in the middle, because she's sort of a divider, not a uniter.
Well, I'm not going to touch that one, but how about, what about for photographers that have different specialties that they do that maybe don't go together so well under a single brand or banner? Should they have multiple different sites? Should I have my glamour site? Should I have my wedding site? Or should I have one thing that brings them all together and then you jump off?
My opinion is you should have multiple sites.
Okay.
And I think you should, but let's take a look, because there could be an exception here. One of the things that we're not seeing is the kids and family in the same portfolio. And so what I'm seeing is if I didn't know Lance, I would look at this and go, oh, he's a people photographer. He's a portrait photographer. And so it depends on how glamoury these beauty shots are. If they're true beauty shots, that's to me a different thing than just a bunch of girls in skimpy underwear with tattoos and
whatnot versus,
posing on the couch, if you will, that kind of stuff. So we'll have to dive in and sort of see if he's a portrait photographer, or if really he's a portrait photographer with a bunch of hot girls on his website.
Quit yapping and start looking.
So let's first start look at the hot girls.
All right, that's where I would start. My eye is there, my mouse is there. Let's go. So.
That's right. And so I think what we have here is obviously we've got some glamour photography, but it's not over the top, just hot girls on whatever.
First impression, I like that that it's full screen. I think that really is great. I like kind of this layout, this collage kind of thing that's going on.
I love it.
I really like it a lot.
I love that you can just see everything all at once and go, who's this?
Oh,
well, we know
that's
it's Casey.
Boom. Yeah.
That's Casey, and that was shot actually in the studio, I think, right here.
Nice.
I think that's right. I think he shot that.
That is beautiful.
So now we have this shot. It looks great. It's full screen. I want to know if I can go to the next shot. I've got these visual cues here. And these are pretty standard, so we can go back and forth. It looks like there's a full screen little button here. So this girl, man, she's a hottie. I wonder who she is. It's Lance's wife.
What a lucky man, Lance.
I know. This is Allison. It's Lance's wife. She is a great model and a hair and makeup artist. Wow. So she's, we work with her all the time.
Very talented.
She
multi-talented. Look at that.
Yeah. So these are great. We've got this dog's head got chopped off. So let's talk about this picture really fast.
Yeah, this one, it certainly it feels very different from the other pictures. The other ones were stylized. This one feels, no offense, a little more amateurish kind of thing to me.
Yeah,
We've
this
got
one
a girl
sticks
in roller
out to me.
skates with a dog butt.
Right. This one sticks out to me as not up to par, especially when we looked at that picture of Casey. Really dark.
Those were amazing.
So a few things about this photo that I think stand out as bad. One, girls don't walk around with their with their jeans unbuttoned and their underwear showing. It just seems so...
Have you been to Scottsdale, Mark?
I have. I've been to ASU
I think they do
well.
that there. But.
Well, yeah, maybe this is her style. I don't know. But, so there's that. The outfit for me just looks wonky. It looks too forced. And, the dog. If you're going to have the dog in the photo, then the dog should be engaged in the photo. And instead, the dog looks like he could care less, and he couldn't care less. And his head is chopped off. And so, this just doesn't work for me. And then also we have either this has been photoshopped to get shallowed up the field, and you can see where, it's sort of been cut out with a layer or something. It just looks bad. But also there's a lot of chromatic aberration, so that you can see these like green lines around all the different So yeah, this one, Lance, I'd get rid of this photo. It's not a very good photo. It doesn't really complement the rest of your work. It stands out as bad, especially when you have it something next to like a shot like this.
Beautifully. And one of the differences too, I noticed as you flip back and forth between there, that last picture was watermarked. This one's not. I mean, is that something you should really be concerned about on your website? Should you go 100% either watermark everything or don't watermark everything? Or
I would.
It's a little distracting when we're going back and forth.
Yeah, I don't find it too distracting, but I do find this distracting where you're going from a large to a small shot. Okay. So, and then this one's not watermarked. Yeah, I would try to have a consistent size and then a consistent branding. So, and that's an easy fix. Just, you know, go into Lightroom and apply a watermark to everything and maybe do an export preset, and then everything's going to pop out because we have different aspects. The other thing is Allison is a great model, Lance, but you've used her too much in your portfolio. So we've got a lot of pictures of Allison in here. So we've got one shot, we've got 2 shots, 3 shots, 4 shots. So, you know, that's what, 20% of this album. And then we have a lot of Casey as well. So the other thing that this sort of points out, and I think these are great, well, 5 shots, there's another Allison shot, is you just need to shoot more. Because we've got a lot of great photography, but keep at it. But from the standpoint of a portfolio, I really love it because we can see everything right off the bat. This one also stands out to me as not a great shot. So I would weed that one out because it doesn't match anything else. It's a different point of view. It's a different style. It just sticks out as something different. Okay, so that looks great. You have, I'm going to go back here to the home. And now this is weird to me because we had 3 things.
Before, where did that go?
Yeah,
right?
where did it go?
Yeah.
Where did they go? And if I click on it, and again, this is another Allison shot. Now I'm back to this. Now I'm lost. So now I got back to this. So I don't know if that's a smug mug thing. If I click Lance Elder, I don't know where my 3 things just went. So that's sort of strange. And I know because I have a brain that we can just go to the portfolio tab and find it, but that's sort of weird. All right, let's see about Lance. He's a photographer, so this is great. Where do we contact you? So I know
on the contact page.
Yeah, there's a contact page.
I want a picture of Lance on there.
Me too.
Lance is a nice looking guy. Let's see a picture of Lance.
Lance, you should have a picture of yourself. Yeah. I wonder if you knew a photographer locally that could take it.
I don't know. Let's see.
Well, there's a picture of Lance.
Hey.
Yeah, there he is.
That looks like a Facebook picture, though.
It does. Okay, so Lance, here's one thing that this drives me bonkers, and this is just a me thing. You should have a phone number. You should definitely have a phone number and an email address. Because sending off a form.
Yeah, I want to be able to pick up a phone and call you.
Yeah, what if I want to hire you right now? I can't.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, Lance, I think your web redemption is, oh, yeah, look at this. So, I don't know what this means. Branding. I don't know what this means. Are these all your different logos, or is this for people to put stuff? I'd get rid of that.
Yeah,
it's confusing. I don't know what that is at all. I don't know. If it's for other people to use, then they're going to have requests to use these, and so make it a private gallery. That's what I would do. Yeah, this confuses me altogether. But overall, I think huge improvement.
Yeah, looks really, really good. I think my big takeaway, one is it's really clean. Navigation and the front part seemed really easy, and I loved the beauty glamour section. I thought that was really, really great.
Yeah, it is really, really great. So well done. All right, so do we have any questions coming in on the chat?
We had a question about if you're not a professional photographer, do you still think it's worth it to pay for a site versus use something like 500 pixels or SmugMug or one of the free things?
Worth it that's the question, worth it.
Yeah.
So what are you trying to do? If you're trying to sell stuff, even if you're not a true professional full-time, if you're trying to sell something, I think it would be worth it, and you can measure that. Mm-hmm. So do a year, have a paid site, and see if you're getting sales. And if not, then it's not worth it. Okay. Or you could do the opposite. You could do your free site and see if they're getting sales. And if you're not, then either it's the quality of your work, or then you have to sort of try it and see. So worth it is something you can measure. Mm-hmm. If you pay $100 and in return you get $0, not worth it. If you pay $100 and in return you get $200, then you've doubled your money. If you pay $100 and you get $100 back, not worth it.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Makes sense. So Igor, who apparently must have been watching last time, said Lance's site is way, way better, much, much better. And there seems to be kind of a bit of a consensus that people in general don't like watermarks. At least the people in chat are not fans of watermarks. And someone's asking for you to talk a little bit more about watermarks.
Okay, yeah, so watermarks, nobody's a fan of watermarks.
Yeah.
Nobody likes watermarks. The only reason that you have a watermark is to brand your photos, and so people don't take your photos. And unfortunately, that's a choice you're forced to make. Personally, I don't watermark. In fact, I was going to say I don't watermark anything except for I'm going to show you something later on where everything is watermarked. But there's a really specific reason for that, and the reason for the stuff that I did watermark is I hope people steal it and post it all over the place, and then people can see those watermarks, and then they'll buy my stuff. So it's an ad, but
it's a marketing strategy that way.
Right, and I think that's the whole strategy is if these show up on Pinterest or Tumblr or something like that, at least somebody will know where they came from. The downside to that, and here's why I usually don't watermark my stuff. The people that are posting those things on Pinterest and Tumblr and blogs and things like that, they're never, ever going to buy your stuff. Never.
That's true.
They're never going to buy it. They're never going to ask you for work. They're never going to hire you as a photographer. And so, unless you're a wedding photographer, maybe. And so, to me, I realize when I put stuff out there on the web, it's going to be used and taken, and it's out there. And so, I just don't watermark anything because I don't want to ruin the beauty of the photo. But at the same time, I don't put super high resolution images out there that can be used as prints and things like that. Right. So. For me, I don't really watermark unless I absolutely have to, but for other photographers, maybe it means a lot. But here's what I would do is ask people where their business comes from and see how many people get business from a watermark.
Yeah, and I know a couple wedding photographers that I think, they're using the watermarking really more as, you said, a sales and marketing strategy, because they're encouraging their friends, their clients to post the pictures on Facebook. They're going out and taking the pictures. I'm going to tag everybody in the wedding, and more folks are seeing it, and they just get a little bit of brand recognition, which is always a good thing. Whether or not those people buy or not, at least you get some sort of brand recognition out of it. But, on the flip side, there are certainly folks that are watermarking to try and protect their content, and I don't think that's very effective.
Right.
If you're going to steal the image, you're going to steal the image.
Right. Yeah. And somebody said, Photoshop is great for removing watermarks. You can do it really easily, which is true. Which is why there's so many watermarks that are just front and center on photos. So as far as wedding photographers go, I do recommend watermarking images, proofs. So I can't tell you how many wedding photographers have told me they've given a proof CD to their clients, and then the clients just use that and go to Walmart
Take it
or
to
something.
Walmart.
They make prints, or not even that. They just never ever get prints because. They have the images. And so more and more wedding photographers now are doing online galleries only, where people can choose prints there, or an online gallery where you can buy prints, and they only leave those up for a certain amount of time, and they watermark the images. So even if you do a screen capture or something, you're never going to get that perfect shot of bride and groom and having the kiss without Lance Elder right across the front. And I think for those photographers, it makes sense. Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
So there we go on watermarks. The only other question we had was, what are your feelings about when you're in a portfolio mixing color images with black and white?
I like to separate my black and white and color images if I have a distinct style. But I think that's your preference. I think not only black and white and color, but you should try to group certain types of colors together. And so I know a lot of photographers will have all their blue images together and all their red images and all their, they do that. Or if they're doing lots of primary colors, they do all their vivid images sort of grouped.
But images.
Yeah, and that's one of those things that in the olden days, you used to take all your images and put it on a big table, and you would lay it out and see how the arrangement worked as a whole. And then you would make a portfolio. When you had portfolios in books, it was really important where images were placed. And so what I try to do, I've got a live books portfolio just for my my portfolio, and I spend a lot of time trying to put pictures together that match. Makes sense. It sort of leads the viewer through that. And so I think that's true of black and white or color. You don't want to do high contrast, low key black and white followed by a really bright, airy, colorful shot right back again. It's just jarring.
You want to have a nice flow, right?
Yeah, exactly. A nice flow. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to zip in. We're going to do just some photo. We're going to look at some photos. And so here is a portfolio from somebody. And I don't know who this is.
I think it's from Photos of Walls.
Photos of Walls. And I had
Right.
this came from from my Facebook page. I just clicked on a link. And so here's one of the things that drives me bonkers about sites like this. So this is Tumblr. Who knows? I don't know who this person is. So is there any information at all? I guess not. So,
But you can follow him. Look at that.
I know I can follow him.
You can't contact this person.
Find
but you
out.
can
I guess
follow him.
I could go back here. Photosofwalls.tumblr.com.
I'm very confused at this point.
Yeah, I don't know who this is.
What's going on?
All right, we're going to look at photos of walls. So whoever,
Thrilling stuff.
this
Thanks.
going to be thrilling stuff. It looks cool though.
We went from chicks to pictures of walls. This is the diversity that we cover here.
This is the diversity. So obviously this fits under the category of fine art photography. It's not for everybody. And so what we want to do when we're looking at these photos is to see, do they tell a story? Is there a theme? Are we using basic elements of composition? And things like that. So one of the things I really like about this, to me, I like it already. I like it because it gives us a sense of place where this person lives. Obviously, it's an urban area. I don't know where, or maybe they travel. I'm not sure. I wish there was a little bit more information. But I'm just going to zip in here. We're going to just look at a few of these. This right here, so this is an abstract. Looks like it was shot on film, which is really cool. This shot, I love it.
I like the negative, the kind of the negative space and the high contrast.
I do too.
there.
This is a classic fine art photo, and it's just a staircase, and it's using strong shape. It's using low contrast or high contrast, where we have the black and the whites as opposed. This is something that you could frame and throw on maybe a modern urban loft kind of wall.
Absolutely.
But more so than that, I could see this being a Snow Patrol album cover. Right?
Yeah, you're right.
That's all I think is this has got to be like it's Snow Patrol's newest CD or something that Zach Braff.
Postal Service. Something
Yeah,
like that.
something like that. Yeah, or Kid A. This is totally
it works.
that kind of
totally
thing.
Works.
So I dig it. This could be a U2 album. I think this is really, really cool. Just because it's got a lot of visual interest, and I love the green tones to it. So yeah, this is not something that you would sell as to everybody, but this could be in a coffee shop. This could be in a lot of places. So I think well done on that photo. And now I'm in that horrible navigational loop of where am I? How do I get back to where I was?
So don't put your portfolio on Tumblr, we've established.
So right now, how do I get back? Back to next post. I don't know.
Well,
okay. So now I'm in, I guess. This one is not as interesting to me. And the reason is we have so much negative space here. It just doesn't lead the eye anywhere.
Yeah.
So it's just not as aesthetically pleasing. And again, this is all subjective.
Yeah, I mean, my eye goes right towards the kind of the blown out section there, and then that's it.
Right.
I'm done.
Yeah, I don't think Snow Patrol would ever use this as their album.
Not so much.
This is interesting to me. It's got, again, a lot of negative space. One of the problems with this site is it's got a black background.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't offset the photos at all. And so I recommend against a black background unless you have a very specific reason for using it. But we can't really see the true framing of this picture because there are no edges. And so that really sort of destroys this picture because it's got so much negative space. And so I don't know if this is really a problem with the photo as much as the frame that the photo is resting in. And the framing is very, very important. And so this shot, I love these very, very depressing.
Yeah, it's just, you get this feeling of isolation looking at that picture.
Yeah,
Like you're
exactly.
alone.
Do I have cancer? That's what I feel
You're
like.
sad.
I know. That's what it feels like to me. It's like, what's happening here?
It's cool when a picture can evoke that kind of emotion, though.
Yeah, it is.
So
To me,
it's fun.
this reminds me of sort of the feeling I get is the 70s. I don't know if you remember the 70s.
I was born in 77, so.
Okay. So you don't remember the 70s so much.
Not so much.
They were a drag. I mean, architecture and industrial buildings and schools and municipalities and just places that you have, they were all depressing, old neon lights and.
But the whole, what is the mid-century modern's like all the rage now, but I guess that's more 50s, right? 50s, 60s?
I guess, but you know, it's just
That's an airplane tail. I like that.
So the thing with this shot that I really like, I mean, I wish we could see a little bit more of the airplane, but if the control tower was gone, I think that'd be better. But I love the dude. This little dude right here.
Oh, yeah.
That's cool.
Ground handler.
Yeah, I like that. Anyway, this, you know, again, just sort of an abstract. I could see this as a center fold to a, you know, a magazine with lots of text over that talking about, I don't know, urbanization. I love these photos. I think they're really well done as far as the, this person knows what they want to do, and I think they execute really well. So good stuff. I'd love to know what other people's opinions are. I don't know are people saying yes, no?
Let's see. Apparently there are good Tumblr templates, I'm being told.
Oh, yeah. This one is not one of them. This
Yeah.
one leads us into a black hole. That's no good.
Nobody really seems to have too many opinions on the photos themselves.
Okay. And by the way, if you want to, that's what happened when I opened up a new window. So that's why we were lost. If you want to know the links to all these things that we are reviewing today, they are on my Facebook page. They all came out of this link that I sent today, which is, hey, we're doing a live thing, so it's pretty cool. All right, well, Keith, one of the things that we do, in addition to portfolio reviews and in addition to picture reviews, I actually do workshops live, and they're called Mark Wallace Live, and some people don't know about them. We just did one on glamour photography.
Nice.
That's really cool, and so...
I bet that one was popular.
It was pretty popular,
Yeah.
but a lot of people have been asking, hey, can you do a workshop on boudoir photography? And it is. It's not specifically to boudoir photography, because normally in my boudoir workshop, we talk about how to sign people up and guidelines and how to work with models and all kinds of stuff that we didn't have time to do. But we did do a glamour photography workshop, and so here's a little video so you know all about it and where to get it.
Awesome.
Hi everybody, it's Mark Wallace, and welcome to Studio Lighting for Glamour Photography right here on Mark Wallace Live. In this workshop, I'll be showing you my formula for getting great looking glamour photos in the studio. Now, I've shot a lot of glamour photography, and I'll be using some of my past photos as an inspiration point in this workshop. I'll be showing you a photo, I'll just sort of deconstruct that and show you all the lighting and the modifiers I used, and then I'm using that photo as an inspiration point. We'll bring out one of our models and we'll create something that's brand new live during the workshop. I've got two great glamour models joining us for this workshop, Maria and Jade. Now, it's important to understand that this is a workshop for mature audiences, and so if you're a little bit modest, this is not the workshop for you. This is called our French wall. We're going to be working a lot on this. We're going to start here. I'm going to show you the basic glamour lighting setup, and we're going to be using that. And then we also have a bunch of different walls on this wall over here in the studio. So we're going to start shooting on a bed, and we are going to show you how to use a single light source to get some really amazing effects. We're going to show you some posing. We're going to show you some fun, happy, sexy kind of photos that you can do with gear that's not super expensive and super easy to set up. We're going to show you the ring flash. We're going to try to walk through as many different light modifiers, lighting setups, and styles as we possibly can during our 4 hours. All right, yeah, that was a tough workshop to do.
Yeah, I imagine so. You know, those are probably even harder to watch.
They're bad.
Over and over again. On demand.
On
I'll tell you
demand.
what, anytime.
Yeah, you can get all that stuff. Well, you know, somebody asked, was telling about overseas. Hey, when you're picking times, be careful about overseas. We have tried every conceivable time possible, and it seems like no matter which time we choose, somebody is disappointed.
It's just bound to happen. When you have the global reach that Mark Wallace does, you know, you can't please everyone.
So out of
All
24
different
time zones, we're going to make 3 of them happy, and that's it. So we're sorry to the other 21 time zones. All right, let's talk about this guy here. This is Mike Laramore. I believe that's how you say his name.
What's up, Mike?
What's up, Mike? And so immediately, I like his site.
Yeah.
I like it because it's got a lot of emotion. It draws me in. We have these people being really funny, which is cool. It's very consistent. He's got a specific style. So I like this. But what I don't know is if I would ever hire him.
Yeah, I mean, aside from take funny pictures of people's faces, what does he do?
I don't know.
Okay.
So let's dive in and check out his portfolio. And so right off the bat.
Well, let's go to portfolio 2, because that tells me exactly what we want to see.
Oh, portraits too.
Oh, portraits 2. I can't hardly read it from here. Okay,
Yeah, so we have
that's
lifestyle, portraits 1, and portraits 2.
better. Okay, got it.
Yeah, so Keith's at an angle over there. So I'm going to check out lifestyle, And let's see what that means to Mike here. So in my mind, it's exactly what he has. It's people doing stuff that they would normally do in life. This to me it's not really lifestyle to me. This is more editorial.
Yeah, I'm thinking, catalog when
Yeah.
I see this.
Yeah, lifestyle to me is more of people
and their
getting
kids
coffee. And this girl's getting coffee, but she's not getting coffee. Nobody eats coffee like that. I mean, and if they do, they're on a date, right? Now, these are great catalog shots. These are editorial shots that you'd see for, Target or TJ Maxx or, those kind of places.
They're very aesthetically appealing. All the people are very styled.
Very happy.
Yes.
I do see one thing that's the lighting is great. They're very soft. I like the desaturated look. But one thing that's got to change is, Mike, you're chopping people's feet off. So chopped foot there. We've got a chopped foot and leg there. We have a chopped hand right there. And so, so there are 3 images right off the bat that have issues.
And this, the one with the chick and her feet, that must have been shot with a wide-angle lens. Her feet look huge.
They do look huge. Yeah, so this lens is distorting this person's legs. And so this is Gianna, I guess.
She was on America's Next Top Model. I know who Gianna is.
Wow.
So, yes.
I'm learning something new. Yes. What else do you watch, Keith?
I do watch
America's
Honey
Next
Boo Boo?
Top
Model. I don't watch Honey Boo Boo. I used to say I watch it for the photography, but I'm past
you're
that
addicted?
now. I am addicted, and who just won? I wanted Corey to win the last cycle, but the chick won instead. It was boys versus girls. Gianna was on that one. She was
awesome.
good. She's really hot. Good model.
Good model, but her feet look giant.
Yeah, her feet look giant.
So maybe a longer lens would help that out. Definitely a longer lens, back up a little bit. But I love these. This is very Kieslowski. So lots of reflections and through glass. And so that's one of the things I love, actually. I love the colors. I love the blues. I love the mixture of color. And they're just playful. I really like that. So these are for the most part, really, really well done. I don't like that the hands have been chopped off. I like the portfolio, by the way. I like that we can see thumbnails, we can see what's going on. Let's take a look at portraits really fast before we move on. I don't want to spend too much time on any one image, but man, look at these. These are phenomenal. And so let's see if the style of this photography is consistent, because I hope it is.
Yeah.
Because this is definitely demonstrating something that most portfolios don't do, which is when you have a portfolio that says lifestyle and then you have a second one that says portraits, usually it's just more of the same thing.
Sure.
Yeah, and so we want to see a different portfolio, something that's a different style of work. And this is definitely a different style. These are really high key. It's got these, strong kicker lights. We've got people that are smiling. And so it's, these are all well done.
This is a really good example to me of what you were talking about with flow earlier. The one picture really kind of seems to flow into the next. The tones kind of get a little bit more muted. And
specifically here, how we have sort of this lens flare thing, it brings us in.
Right in from that picture on the left. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. And these are very similar shots. And so then we going in, and so notice how these are getting darker and darker. Notice very light, a little bit darker. This is darker, lots more hair, darker. And then we get into the black and white. And so this is, again, we're leading in. And this is what I would hope for, what we talked about earlier. And so, we're getting in here to these are freaking awesome. This is great work. I love what are these called?
I'm scared right now. That just scares me. I mean, it's a great picture, but I'm scared.
Yeah, those are not glued on.
No, those are implanted.
Yeah, those are implants. And then now notice how we go from the dark and we're coming back out to
the light again.
Yeah, we're getting back into more color and light. And then we have this that sort of breaks that. So I'm not sure if this is placed where I would place it, but that's great. It's good stuff. And then portraits too should be more of the same, just more. And it is. It's more, but these are more lifestyle-y.
Yeah,
these are great.
Action kind of things almost. Well, they started that way.
Yeah. So these are more catalog. These are great stuff. So what I would hope for this person is that they're shooting for magazines and catalogs. Yeah. That's the quality of work. And so let's see if the contact information measures up to that. And look, this guy's a professional, Denver.
There we go.
Taking him around the globe. I can believe that. And here's where you can book him. And notice, Lance, take note. There's no form. Here's my phone number. Here's my email. Step up, give me a call. Let's do business. That's what you're looking for. You should just have, You treat your clients like a girl that you want to take on a date. Here's my info. Give me a call. And then treat them nicely. Buy them treats. Is that how that works? Yeah, so, and then a very interesting blog. This is great stuff. So if you're watching this, check out Mike's stuff because it's good. It's just very good. I like it. Okay, except for those few pictures where you chop the hands off and the feet and the big feet. So,
well, apparently the folks in the chat are saying that Mike has been interviewed about chopping, and he says he's okay with it.
Well, that's good. So
that's
then
your
again,
opinion.
My
and
opinion,
Mike's opinion.
Mike's opinion. I don't like it. Mike, don't chop it. Stop chopping it.
Stop chopping roll.
Stop chopping. Stop chopping roll.
That's how we roll.
That's how we roll. That's how we roll. Okay.
What is this craziness?
Hola, Snap Factory.
Ah.
This must be. Am I logged in?
Because I see your logo over
I
there.
know. I do too.
It's a little concerning.
That's
your old
interesting.
logo.
That's my logo. Maybe I'm logged into Flickr. Yeah, I
Maybe.
am. I am.
Look at that.
Huh, I never
Somebody
logged
still
out.
uses Flickr. What do you know?
And it's me. Okay, so this is a person asked me to review this photo.
Okay.
This photo.
Just the photo. Got
Just
it.
the photo. So let's just talk about this photo because it's got issues. And let's see if we can, yeah, so even large, it's got issues. Whoa! Flickr is going crazy. Here it is, doing stuff. Oh, now we got Ken
that's some
Burns.
Ken Burns going on.
Oh, yeah, I'm starting to throw up. So, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I entered a slideshow, but yeah, I guess it's MySpace technology. It's like, oh, it's old, Flickr.
Yeah.
Hello, 90s? No, it's not. Is it 2000s?
Well, it's like early 2000s.
Yeah. Anyway, so this photo here, by the way, Flickr, obviously, I'm not a fan
No, not so much.
of Flickr because they haven't really improved their stuff, but
In years.
it's not bad. But this photo has a couple of problems right off the bat. I don't think it's a great photo of a person. Number one, the crop is weird because the chin is chopped off and we've got a lot of headroom up here. So that's a weird crop. Right. Secondly, there's no details in the shadows. So all these areas here where the hair that should be beautiful, we see no details in the hair. The eyebrows are all blocked up. We see no details in any of the eyelashes or the eyeliner. We can't discern where the eyes, iris starts or stops, or the pupil starts and stops. You can tell that lots of stuff has been done to the retouching. You can see where the healing brush sort of went through to make these eyes wider.
Skin seems overly soft.
Yeah,
to
the
me.
skin is softened, but then there's a pimple right here and some lipstick stuff that was missed. And so all the fine details that would make this a great portrait are wrong. So we have like an extra hair that's sort of dangling here and another one here. We've got this little guy over here that's popping out. And so if you're gonna retouch a photo or do some post-production to it, do it to everything and make it look perfect, or don't and let it live on its own where you have wrinkles and hairs and things like that. But all the fine details that should make this portrait really speak to us they just don't exist because the shadows just aren't there. And all of the small things that should distract from us, that should be taken away, have been left as well. So this is a portrait that I think could probably work with a little bit more love in post-production.
The one over here, this finger looks really weird to me because we've got this kind of dark shadow in here and then this light popping right here. I don't know, something just looks funny. Right there.
It looks like a silver kind of something. I don't know. Yeah, this might look better in color. I don't know, but yeah, all the details are lost. And so that needs some more work in post-production. If this was shot in RAW, then there's a lot of hope for this image. I think compositionally, if it wasn't cropped so tight to the chin, if there's more image information there, this could definitely be reworked and saved. I'd love to see more of her eyes because it just looks like one big black, mass, like she's been struck in the head with a crowbar. And so, the catch lights are cool. I like that, but we don't see any of her eye, and so that needs to change. So this is not a great portrait. It's an okay portrait, but not great for those reasons. Okay, we're going to move on here. To one more picture, then I want to talk a little bit more about Squarespace. Okay. So this is another photo that somebody asked me to review. And right off the bat, I'd say I don't love it. And for something like this, there's some kind of I don't know, unspoken connection that you have, and it's different for different people. And so when I look into an image of a person like this, I really don't know what's going on here, other than there's a beefy guy that could beat me up sitting in a chair.
I mean, I'm kind of with you. I'm not falling in love with the picture, but I do like the picture. I mean, to me, I've got, this boxer. He's kind of sitting in the ring there. He's, concentrating on something clearly. He's looking off in the distance. He's, I don't want to say concerned, but he looks a little angry. He's clearly very fit. I mean, I get that.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't know, is he about to fight, or has he already fought?
Yeah, I mean, I don't he clearly hasn't fought. He's not sweaty.
He's not sweaty.
And I don't think he's about to fight, because he's not like pumped up energy. It's more like, I'm mad.
Is he just sitting in a boxing
I'm going to
ring?
go sit in the corner and I'm mad.
Yeah, to me,
that's what I get.
I think that's what doesn't work for me, is that it's obviously an environmental portrait where you have a guy in an environment that fits his outfit and his persona, but the environment is dead. There's no people around it. There's no lights around it. It's just, a dude sitting in a corner. Obviously, he hasn't finished doing what he's going to do, and it doesn't look like he has anything to do. Like, I don't believe that he's about to box anybody, because it just doesn't look like there's anything going on there. And so because he's not going to box anybody, I'm just wondering, why is he there?
I know his name is Wilson.
No, Wilson floated away. He never made it back.
He's not about to box because he doesn't have the gloves on either.
Right.
He's got his hands all
and he didn't
up.
just work out. So for me, as far as the storytelling, this falls short because it doesn't have any of those details visually for me. As far as the lighting, I think the lighting's just fine. I wouldn't want a perfectly lit boxer in a corner because that just doesn't happen. I think the light on the face is where you want it to be. We've got a lot of contrast. I like it as it's desaturated. We have lots of contrasty colors, red against blue. That's cool. But as far as the storytelling goes, it's not something that I think hits the mark. It's not something that a magazine's going to publish or be picked up because it doesn't really tell a story, unless this guy's really famous and I just don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe
I've heard the name Wilson before. So
yeah,
I think
maybe he's Wilson, Wilson something. Anyway, so there's that. All right. Well, one of the things that I want to talk about really fast, because a lot of people have been asking about websites. We asked people were asking about SmugMug, and they were asking about
Flickr,
and
Tumblr. Those have all been mentioned in the
LiveBooks.
chat, and yes.
And last time we were talking about different websites and how to build them. We talked about LiveBooks. We talked about some different options, and one of those options that we want to talk about, obviously, is Squarespace.
Yep.
And Squarespace is making this possible for us to come and talk to you and record this. And so we really appreciate that. But as I mentioned at the beginning of this broadcast, I don't really talk about any product that I don't believe in.
And I personally know you, and that is very, very true.
It's true. So. I have a shelf over here of products that didn't make the cut from all kinds of different brands because I never want to lie to anybody. But Squarespace makes it just easy to create a website. And so what I want to do is show you that that's actually true. And so we have Squarespace right here. This is what you would see. This is the all-in-one platform that makes it fast and easy to create your own professional website or online portfolio. And we mentioned earlier, for a free trial and 10% off your first purchase, you can go to squarespace.com and use offer code SNAPFactory. And so for anybody that wants to try it out, it's a free trial. You can try that out, and it starts at $8 a month, and that includes a free domain name. So if you want keithiscool.com.
All those folks that were wondering if it's worth it to have your own web space, give it a try. It's a free trial. Going forward, it's only $8 a month.
$8, and you get 10% off your first.
Dirt cheap.
The other thing that's really cool about this is the mobile stuff.
Absolutely love that. There's so many people consume your content on many different devices. I may be looking at your website on an iPad, on an iPhone, or an Android phone versus a laptop. Squarespace it's a responsive design, so the screen will automatically reconfigure based upon the screen real estate. It's really, really cool stuff.
It is, and so you can see just scrolling through here that here are the mobile versions of the online version. So when you get this stuff, you're actually getting two sites: a mobile site and a normal site for online for people to see. And the thing is, it's so easy to create these. And so if we zip over here at the menu, you can see that there are all these templates. And in the templates, this can't be any easier. So you select your template. And you can switch it anytime. There's no, if you switch one you don't like it, You can just
you're
flip it
locked
over.
into that one. I've had that happen.
Right. You don't have to have a credit card to try this out, and you get a free domain name. And so you just pop in here and you can see all of these different websites and the different templates. But I don't want to just talk about it. I want to show you. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go back to squarespace.com, and I'm going to log in because I have a Squarespace that I've been working on, and I want to show you how I can remember my password.
Is password.
Yeah, I'm like, wait,
For all
that's
you
not it.
hackers out there. Password
Yeah.
1. That's the
So
secure.
I'm logging in here. So this is actually what it looks like. This is the real thing, what you would see if you were building a website. And the nice thing is I've got all these different entries here. The 3 light setup, studio lighting essentials, photography basics, understanding light and light modifiers. If I click on one of those, you can see all the different things that I've entered. But the question is, what if you're not a website developer? What if you have no experience? What if you
I'm a
don't know this?
photographer,
Right.
not a website developer.
I don't know any of that stuff. You don't need to know any of that stuff. And as a matter of fact, there are at any time about 70 people standing by to help out. And so watch this. We're going to go in here. There's this little thing that says help and support. So let's just say I know nothing at all. There's a live chat. And so we didn't tell them we're going to do this. So I'm going to say my name is Mark Wallace, and my email address is mark@snapfactory.com. And then I'll start the chat. And then watch this. I'm going to say, hello, is there anybody there? What am I saying? Okay, is there anybody there? And this is Bradford. And Bradford says, how can I help you? Is he actually live? So you can see the password?
Apparently so.
No. You can see my password? No. I just had a cold sweat coming out there. So Bradford is here chatting with us, and let's say we need some help. I'm going to say I'm live. Whoops. I'm live on YouTube, and we'd like to show people that Squarespace is for real. Can you help? Let's see. And then we'll start talking to us. And so if you have any kind of question at all, this will help. So Bradford here, we didn't ask him. He's typing out something. We need a word. Somebody from the chat room, tell us a word to say.
Ooh. Family friendly.
Family friendly word. Ish. So somebody in the chat room, just give us any random word. Could you say
Pineapple.
Pineapple?
I'm not. No one's typing, so I'm making the executive pineapple decision.
So we know you're live. Oh yeah.
That's what Matt was trying to say. I wasn't sure over there. He was
So you
pointing
zoom
at the
in.
computer. It's like,
Yeah, Matt tries to show us things. So yeah. So my point here, and we'll get a little pineapple back, I hope, from Bradford, is that everything. So there it is, pineapple.
Yay, Bradford.
Thanks. Which incidentally is my favorite fruit.
It's actually mine too. We finally got hot dog. Seems to be. Oh, we actually had 2 people type hot dog.
Oh, thanks for your help.
Sorry, Bradford.
We've proved that you are real.
And awesome.
Okay. So anyway, there are 70 people at any given time
That's a
standing
lot.
by. Yeah, so there's live chat, there's questions and answers, there's getting started stuff, so you don't have to know any of this stuff. It's just there. Okay, so we're going to go over to back to my Squarespace account here. Now we have all of these different pages that we've created, and the way I created those is I have a WordPress site that already has these, and I didn't want to go in and have to recreate my WordPress site. What I wanted
Sounds
to
like a
do,
lot of work then.
it is a lot of work,
You know?
and I needed more flexibility than WordPress could offer, and so I didn't want to lose my content. I wanted to bring it in, and then I wanted to be able to manipulate that stuff to create a new Mark Wallace Workshops website, and so that's what I'm working on here. And so what I did down here, there's this little gauge over here on the side, this little gear, and there's a little import-export. And what you can do is you can import from WordPress, Tumblr, Big Cartel, Shopify, Blogger, V5, any of those things. You can just import your current stuff. So not your theme necessarily, but your content.
The content. Okay.
Correct. And so you can bring that in. That's where all that came in, which I really, really love that. You can connect this to your Facebook page. And so I have not just a personal page, but a public page. And so I've linked
Plugged
that.
into social media. Facebook, Pinterest,
all of
that fun stuff.
Yeah, so check this
Nice.
out. So these share buttons here, you can integrate this with Facebook, Twitter, Google, Tumblr, Pinterest, Reddit, StumbleUpon,
That's a
and
lot of
LinkedIn.
stuff.
It is. And so different themes have different things that you can use. It also has different contributors. And so Kelsey is one of our contributors. She's never logged in because I didn't tell her that she was a contributor because she doesn't work here anymore.
You just miss her so much.
I know.
You just like to see her name on
Right.
publications.
So if you have a team of people contributing not only to a website or blog, you can do that as well.
So I saw when you were doing the import that there was the Shopify on there. Is there a way for me to
yeah.
sell my portraits, on,
Let me show you this.
Squarespace? How would something like that work?
This is awesome. So if you're looking to sell things, what you can do is there's this little e-commerce section. And so you can add products. You have all these shipping options. You can create a Stripe account, which is a way to accept credit cards. And then you flip the switch and you're live. And so it's so easy. If we go, I'm going to go up here to Content Manager, and I'll show you I can add a page. And we have all these different options here. And I'm going to say product. And as soon as I say products, I can say, my photos. We can make that anything we want. I can save that. And then I can start adding products. And so the nice thing about this is these products can be a physical package, like a print.
Oh, yeah, sure.
They can be a digital package, like a JPEG, or perhaps these could be wedding photos, something like that. They could be a service, like a class.
Okay.
And so all three options are there. So it's similar to Shopify or other e-commerce sites, except for I know with some of the older e-commerce sites and some that are like an eBay-ish kind of thing, you can only do physical or service. And you'd have to go somewhere like eJunkie to do digital. With this, you have all three in one site. And
One-stop shop.
Yeah, and that's one of the things, it is. That's one of the things that I've really struggled with my WordPress site is I wanted to have not only workshops that are services where people show up, but the digital content that we have people download. And I wanted it all on one page. And so with my WordPress site, I could do some plugins that did some of the services
But
through
then it's kind of
Shopify.
disconnected through third parties.
I have to
and
go to
all that
Shopify
stuff.
and do some of my stuff, and I got to go to eJunkie and do some of my stuff. I got to go Vimeo and do some of my stuff. With this, it's all in one place, and so it makes it easier for your clients as well. So anyway, it's all of that stuff, and you can start a free trial. Let me just show you one other thing that's so easy. Let's say I want to do a gallery, so I go to my page, I say add a gallery, and let's say this is Studio Lighting Essentials, because that's what it's going to be. And I just say save, and now it's ready for me to add items. And to add items, I'm going to go to my Finder. Why is it over here? I don't know. I've created too many pages.
You created a monster.
Because I'm full screen. That's why.
There we go.
Why is it there? Come back. I've created a monster. Here it is. Sorry. So all I have to do here, that's me, that's not, how to use your computer 101. All you have to do is if you have, a folder full of images, I'll just grab a few images here. You just drag them in. That's it.
And they just upload and they're resized and all that stuff.
So they upload and they resize and they pull all the metadata out. So if you've keyworded them or added descriptions in Lightroom, all that stuff comes with it.
Nice. Now say maybe I'm doing a gallery for a client and I want to password protect that so that, it's not public. Can I do something like that?
Yeah, you actually can, and you can go into gallery settings here, and there's a password.
Sweet.
So you could type in hot dog or whatever you want as your password.
Hot dog, pineapple.
Correct. And then that way you can send a link to that page, and it only
that
works.
Person.
Yeah, it only works if that happens. And you can also change where these guys are in the gallery. I think what's happening right now is we're broadcasting live.
Yeah,
at
we're
the
kind of
same
using
time.
a lot of bandwidth. Right now.
We're using a lot of bandwidth. Let's see if we can go in here and view this gallery. And so, here they are.
There they go.
So there's the gallery that I just created. Sweet. I can go between these images, and I sized these before they got here. And so there it is. And these are the ones I watermarked, so people will know. And so that's how easy it is to create a gallery or a web page or video or whatever. You just sort of pop in there and do that. So anyway, the point is Squarespace allows you to create not just a gallery for your images, but it allows you to do private galleries. You can do blogs. You can import stuff from your other
sites.
Yeah, other sites if you've had some that a free WordPress site or Blogger or one of those kind of things. And then also you can even have total control over the entire site. So if you're a coder
Nice.
You can go in
I
and
can put my own CSS in there.
you can do all your own
go to
CSS, right?
Nice.
Data-driven website, that kind of stuff. So
Wow.
you can do all of that. So anyway, we are very, very happy that Squarespace has been helping us out. We hope that you participate with them if you're looking for a website, because if you do, it helps us do more portfolio reviews. And so just go to squarespace.com and use the offer code SNAPFactory, and that will get you 10% off your first purchase. And it'll help us keep doing this.
A great deal.
It's a great, great deal.
For a great service.
All right, so now we're going to keep going. We've got just a few minutes. We're going to go in and we're going to talk to this photo right here. This is from Lee Churchill's photo. This is Lee Churchill's photos. Lee Churchill's photo. That's hard to say.
That is kind of
Lee Churchill's photos.
I flubbed it.
Yeah, so he wants to have a critique on this photo. So this photo is, I think, a fine photo. It is very low contrast, which is really cool. It's very monochromatic. One of the things that really stands out to me is this is full of texture, lots and lots and lots of texture. So we have, bricks everywhere in the walls, in the background, on the bottom, and because of that, we have this leading line that's leading us in a path through this. But for me, it's just too much texture, it's too much pattern, and so because of that, it doesn't really. We have this bright light up here, which is sort of drawing our attention. But other than that, it doesn't really tell much of a story to me.
There's no big focal,
Right.
the light, but.
Yeah, I think this is a great background if there was a person in it. But it's sort of.
Photoshop, put a little person in there.
It's Photoshop somebody in. So I think technically it's perfect. There's really no problems with it. It's got a lot of clarity. It's got a lot of contrast between this bright and the dark. Everything it pops, but from an aesthetic, it doesn't really do much for me because there's not much to the story there. So yeah, we'll make this a little bit larger so we can see.
There we go.
Yeah, so it's an old street. That's cool.
Yeah.
It looks like a video game to me.
And I don't know, maybe it's just been stylized, but the color balance looks a little off too. It's kind of greenish.
Yeah, I like it though. I like the greenishness. Yeah. The greenish. Yeah. So this, it doesn't have a lot going for it as far as just aesthetics, other than it's got a lot of texture.
Yeah. And
it's a street. All right, we're gonna move on. We're gonna do some more. Here's another. This is Mikhail. I think that's how you say that. Goncalves. Who knows? All right. So a critique on this portrait. So the portrait has, again, this is to me not a fantastic portrait, and I want to show you why. Hopefully this will help you out. Number one, the retouching is way too much. It's just way, way, way too much. You've lost all the detail in the skin, and you can see where the softening has happened, and you've masked out like for the eyes and the hair and the lips and that kind of stuff. So you need to spend some more time on the retouching, because she looks half plastic and half over sharpened.
Under the eyes looks just kind of, I don't know, they almost seem saggy,
Yeah.
because of that. It's just.
Right, because there used to be lines underneath here,
Right.
and there's been a Gaussian blur applied, one of those kinds of things. And so the retouching needs some work. It's that classic glamour retouching that unless you do it just very, very well, it doesn't really work. Yeah, because it looks. This is what you would see from a new photographer, which I know Mikhail is, and so that's totally fair. You just need to spend some more time learning how to do this and do it a little bit better, because the areas where you haven't retouched don't really blend with the areas where you have retouched, and so it just gives this weird kind of disjointed portrait, specifically like right around here. So you can see where you've really made her skin perfect, but then there's some areas that need some help that you can't fix because of this fine hair, and you can tell that you've not retouched here, but it's right over on the right outside. There's that. And the other thing that we don't want to see is, who wants to smell this nasty armpit?
That's what I was waiting for an opportunity to comment on the armpit.
Right. We don't want. Yeah, she looks like she's about to sniff her armpit, and so the pose is just not. It's just not good. And so I know, it looks like a sexy pose.
A lot of models kind of do that, though, especially the beginning ones. They need a little clearer direction, because sometimes they're.
Yeah, it looks like she's about to just sniff that. So, unless there's some kind of weird sniffing thing, that's no good. And so, I think this portrait, the retouching is not fantastic, the armpit is so distracting. We have this big, huge line. If you measured this arm against her face, the arm is probably as big as 2/3 of her face.
Oh, yeah.
And so this big just chunk of square flesh right here, and now once you see it, all you see is this big square thing. It looks like her arm has actually been
Yeah,
snapped.
now that you point that out, that's all I can look at.
Yeah. And once you see this arm and the armpit, this becomes the story of what is going on with this. And so we totally are distracted. And so, yeah, this needs definitely some work. If her arm was down and the retouching was a little bit different, I think this would be a fine portrait.
Yep.
But it's got a little bit too much orange in it. So the tint needs to be fixed just a little bit. And maybe that's my monitor or the calibration. I'm not sure, but to me it looks a little bit too orange. And so that's my feedback. It's a good start. The light looks like it's in a good place.
We got a really funny comment. Sorry to interrupt, but you need to do the Frono's photo sniff test.
I know. We'll have Jared come in and he can sniff that armpit. I'm not doing it. He'll do it. He'll sniff anything.
Yeah, he will.
He will sniff anything.
I watched him sniff a Nikon once.
An icon?
Nikon.
Oh, a Nikon. Oh, I'd rather sniff an armpit than a Nikon. So I'm going to get beat up for that.
Yeah, you will.
All right, so that's my feedback on that photo right there. It needs some help. All right, let's take a look at this. This is Cool Pics Sketch Dreams. Cool Pics Stretch Dreams.
All right.
I'm going to make this full screen
Ask
here.
for yours.
And we have enough time for this and one more, I think. We'll see if there's some other pictures that we can review really quickly.
Okay.
This guy doesn't take photographs. I'm going to guess he's going to say, I make photographs. It just popped out there. I sketch dreams. Oh. That's horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't put that on my website.
You're a photographer, not a sketcher.
Yeah, you don't sketch anything. You take pictures. Again, my my opinion. And maybe that could be something that's a cultural thing.
Yeah, it could
right?
be. Yeah.
So a lot of times I'm like,
That's
what?
why you were using your accent when you were.
Right.
I sketch dreams.
Sketch dreams. So let me take a look. So I don't really know what kind of photographer this guy is. And these buttons here don't work. So I'm not sure what's going on there. But I'm clicking about here on Cool Pics. And now it looks like, oh, look he has the same pose. Same pose as the model we just saw, except for he's got more elbow.
Yeah. He wants to show off his biceps.
Yeah, so evidently there's a theme of armpit sniffing going on. So, yeah, I would change that picture because you look like that girl that we just sort of critiqued.
Maybe he's an 80s wrestler going to drop the
Maybe
hammer
so.
on somebody.
He's going to just smack you with the elbow. So this is a lot of information about who this person is. Oh, here it is. I'm like, but you don't have your name on there. Here it is. So this is Pernindu Bala. Yeah, and he's from Bangalore, which is awesome. I love Bangalore. I've been there. My favorite dinner, I think I've talked about it a million times, came from
I've
Nandili
heard the
Palace.
story.
Yeah.
I think there's still a reward out there for someone that can get
somebody
you
in Bangalore.
the recipe.
Get me the recipe for the chili chicken at Nandili Palace. It's awesome. It's just off Airport Road. It's so good. So good. It'll melt your face. But anyway, so we have all this stuff about him. We have a phone number. We have an info@coolpics.com. So we have email, which is great.
Test. That's good.
Yes. So that works. But I don't know what he does. So we have portfolio shoot here. And okay. So I guess he shoots models.
That's a lot of text.
This is a lot of text, but 7 days. Oh my gosh.
Well, he's sketching, remember?
He is sketching.
So
Wow. 2 days, 7 days. There's a lot of stuff here. So I've never seen an outline like this, but maybe this is something that is.
and that's maybe the way it's done in India.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
In different regions do different things. I've never seen this, but
Different customs, sure.
right. So a corporate shoot. I guess these are just rates. Okay, and then we have the gallery here. So yeah. So these are like, this is how you hire me, and this is so that to me is a little bit confusing.
Yeah,
but again,
definitely.
different. There are different things. Different. I would never put my self-portrait on my portfolio. I wouldn't do that. But there you go. Here it is.
Lance needs himself a sexy picture.
He does. I think we should start a trend of one arm up in the hair.
We'll do the Mark Wallace. It'll become the new Mark Wallace post.
I think we should do this. Bonus points for anybody that posts on Facebook a picture with their arm up. Yeah, we should start doing that.
Doing the sniff test.
Doing the sniff test.
There we go.
These are beautiful portraits. These are really, I love these. The one thing I would do here is maybe try to do something with this floor, because it's just so perfect. And then we've got this, so maybe an acrylic or something.
Subjects too, you know,
I do too. Nice. I love the strong backlight. I love the outfits. I love Indian clothing, and I love Indian weddings. I don't know if you've ever been to an Indian wedding.
Yeah, they're quite the spectacle.
Are amazing. And so, I'm going to be in India in a couple weeks, and I hope to. Nice. Did you know I was going to India?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, just a couple weeks ago. Like, did you not know that? And so one of the things I want to do is just to sneak into a wedding. I just love all that stuff. So we've got different galleries here. We've got portfolios. So my feedback is this is a pretty good site. You've got quality work. I think that it's good. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think there's really much that you need to do to this except for maybe.
Hang on, there was another bicep sniffer.
Another bicep. Oh, another. What's that with people sniffing their arms? It's like there's a trend now. Sniff your arm. So there you have it. Now, I think this is pretty a solid portfolio. It just needs to have a little bit, I think, more clarity. Like when you click the About button that says, fashion. We don't care about fashion photography. We know what fashion photography is. We're trying to hire you. Tell us what you do. So something that says, I shoot portfolios for models and I shoot corporate clients. If you want to know more, check out my gallery or contact me here. That would be better than, something about their maximum possible heavenly beauty. We don't need to know that.
We'll just blame that on Google Translate.
Absolutely, we'll blame that on Google Translate. All right, let's take a look at a couple more pictures.
Okay.
To do that, and then we'll be out of time. So these are just photos that somebody said, hey, can you look at these photos and give me some critiques? And so this is not a portfolio for review. This is just a file sharing.
Pictures.
Yeah, so they're not attempting to do all the other stuff that we talked about, winning clients and having people contact them and all that kind of stuff. So as I'm going through here, I'm seeing stuff it's okay or average at best. We have, the old chapel here is underexposed. It's shot maybe at the wrong time of day. The autumn colors is monochromatic, so there are no colors here. And maybe let me just click before I criticize this, because it might be more than, I don't want to sign up. Yeah, I don't want that. So this is called autumn colors. There are only 2 colors.
Yeah.
So that's a bad name for this. And this also lends itself to a black and white photo because it's got high contrast and it's got lots of shape. There are no colors. There's blue and gold. That's it, or blue and brown, whatever you want to call that. Yeah. So this is probably going to lend itself to more of a black and white image. Yeah. But even that, I think, is going to be pushing it. It looks like a lot of your stuff is underexposed. So I don't know if maybe you have exposure compensation changed on your camera or what, but yeah, there's a lot of underexposed images.
Like the building right down below, there's some pretty heavy
this guy
halo going on with that there.
Yeah.
That's where we've jacked up the shadows and brought the highlights way down, and now I've got halos on everything.
Yeah, so halos, what Keith is talking about, is there's just sort of like this white outline to this, and that is indicative of somebody that's brought something into Photoshop and put a mask on the subject. So probably darkening the sky to make this more punchy, but it's obvious that's been done. And so you've got some issues there. You need to clean that up. And the other thing is you've got this very, very pristine, clean building. It's got sharp lines. Then we got all this junk down here, lines. So crop that out. Get rid of this junk down here because it's not helping this clean building. And the other thing I would do with an image like this is go find a better point of view because we don't see the bottom of that. So yeah, that's just an image that needs some work in how you see it. Some of the other stuff that we see here, let's check this out. Stop.
Collaborate and listen.
Yeah, so this just makes sense to me. And this looks like the favelas or something down like outside of Rio. I'm not sure where this is. La Paz. Where's La Paz?
I don't know. That sounds like something I'd have to Google, and then I have to learn how to
spell
it.
Yeah. Well, this looks like South America. I'm not sure, but Yeah, I'm not sure what the guy stopping has to do with this, except for maybe this is a little anthropomorphic.
Maybe
but
it's pokey. Stop poking me.
maybe so. I don't know.
Stop poking me, Mark.
I'm not sure. Definitely, this person has traveled quite a bit. City lights, that's cool.
That's cool.
I wish I knew where this was.
I would probably crop that a little differently, though.
Yeah.
With all the
So-
negative space on the top.
Yeah, lots of negative space on the top. Maybe put that up closer to the top. You could even lose some on the side. We've got these sort of holes here, but that's pretty cool. I want to see if there's something that really stands out as awesome, and this is it. This is, I think, your signature image. It is, now this is a classic metal guitar, something you'd see played down in New Orleans.
Down
South, yeah, a little slide,
Picking in something
or
like
Dire
that,
Straits,
strumming.
right? Any money for nothing. Yeah, there's nothing like the sound of a metal guitar. These are awesome. But yeah, these are played a lot in Creole areas in down south. I love this. It's a very clean image. It's monochromatic, which is nice. It's color, but it's just shades of silver and black, and you've got a little bit of this chrome. I like the composition. I like how this sort of flows through. I like the detail. I like sort of the old rust. It's been played for a while. It's got some junk on it, like you can see the scratches from the pick hitting this.
Highlights. I mean, it's
That's pretty cool. I like this image a lot. That's one I think you could sell as stock or throw up online as an image gallery, which is cool. All right, do we have other questions that we're missing? I think people have been talking a lot.
They've been talking a lot. Not a heck of a lot of questions. We've gotten a couple requests to go back. People have, just like Lance, been changing some of the things. Can you go look at it again, kind of thing. That's a little problematic for us to do, guys, because Mark can't, we can't show my computer on the screen. So I don't think we're going to be able to loop back and look at any of those. The haloing can also be an HDR kind of thing as well. But a lot of folks are just kind of generally agreeing with our assessments on things so far.
Yeah, and I think we have enough time just to really quickly try to hit some of these, just pictures, not portfolios. Okay. This picture here, this girl, it's an okay portrait, but you've chopped off her arms. And so what I would do in this image here is crop it closer so we don't have this arm chopped off. Maybe just crop it right above the elbow there, and then you have a nice portrait that can be pulled out of that. Other than that, I think the light is nice. It's really nice and soft. We've got nice, it's nice soft light. It's just the framing is not great. Yeah. It's been chopped off. So that's my feedback on that. And I also don't know, Facebook sort of compresses things.
Yeah,
so that's sort of
the
sad.
JPEG compression on there gets a little sketchy.
Yeah. So the other thing I wish was there's just a little bit more saturation in the sky, but that's the time of day, so maybe a little bit later. But I love the nice soft light on her face. So it doesn't look like there's a fill flash or something, but maybe there's an overcast day. Yeah. But yeah, I like that. Just a different crop is what that is needed. All right, we're going to zip through here. This is a shot, and it's sort of a composite, it looks like, from a retoucher. And let's see if it loads in.
I've seen very similar shots to this before. I mean, this is kind of a...
So there are many shots that are similar to this, if we can get it to pop in here. All right, it's not going to pop in. We'll just have to look at it from here. Yeah, so this shot, the one problem I have with it is the shape of the face. And so this is a very vertical portrait, but her face is a very horizontal face. It's a very square face. And so for something like this to work for me, you need to have somebody with a little bit narrower face that's more of a vertical shot. And so I don't think that the face of this person necessarily matches the compositing that's been done. But as far as the compositing, I think it's fine. I would prefer to see some actual real life color or something that blends into the composite, because it looks a little, you can tell it's obviously somebody's photoshopped a crown on this girl's head, right? Yeah. So for me, this doesn't really do it, because the photo doesn't really match the composite that's been done to it. So that's my opinion of that. This bugs me. No, I'm kidding.
You are so funny.
I know. So this has a few things going for it that I really like. One, nice shallow depth of field. I like that. It's an interesting point of view, because this little buggy.
Yeah, that's what I'm still trying to figure out, the exact point of view. Where is the head? Is
right.
that on the top left?
I don't know if this is the head or that. The other thing I think needs to happen is get even closer. We've got a lot of extra space around here, lots of stuff that is not the spidery thing. And so it needs to be a much, much tighter crop. And I hope you shot a few more images than this, because this one, it's hard to distinguish the bug from the green. So get in a little bit closer, get rid of all this extra stuff, because there's more of nothing in this image than there is of something.
Agreed.
Yeah, so really get in there tight. As far as the sharpness, the clarity, the color, all of that, that's fine, but just the composition needs some help. You need to get more, maybe even a vertical shot instead of horizontal. Get rid of all this extra space. There's just tons of stuff on each side that just doesn't add to the photo at all. So crop that out. Okay, let's see if we have this shot right here.
Let's jump.
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 Yeah. I'm back in the 80s. You were alive in the 80s, right?
Yeah, I was alive in the 80s.
Okay. Yeah, so this shot here is, it's really cool. It's definitely a ballerina jumping. And that's what we can say about that,
yeah,
right?
It's like one of those stereotypical shots that everyone wants to do so I can learn how to freeze action.
That's exactly what it is.
And that's all it's got going for it.
Right. This is a great shot if this dancer is going to be using some photos to promote herself, or this is a good shot for her because it shows her muscle tone, which is fantastic. It shows her form. It shows us, that she can dance. But as far as a photo just on its own, it doesn't really do much because we don't know how high she's jumped.
Right.
We don't know, we don't really know much about the action. We just know that here she is. So this is great for the dancer, not so great for the photographer. And so maybe this is something that was commissioned. Who knows? I like the light. It's nice and soft. I really am hoping for more of a reflector on the other side.
Exactly, because there's a little too much shadow on that fly for me. But
a little bit too much, and we're really not seeing as much muscle tone as I would like to see in an image like this. So maybe a backlight or some kicker light to add a highlight. And then the other thing is we can't really see the action. So in a lot of these shots, we'll see something like flour or smoke or something that sort of helps offset this. So, I'm hoping for that. But technically, this is a pristine shot, and this is one that, I recommend everybody do just to try to freeze action with a speed light or a strobe. Here's a self-portrait. This guy says he recalls Terminator. And I think this is fun for Facebook and friends.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, but it's not something I'm going to show off to people and be proud of. But
yeah, don't put this on your website because
that's the autofocus illuminator. It's firing right now.
Exactly, it's the autofocus thing, and then also you don't see your face, and if we don't know you, it doesn't really make sense. And you've got a Red Bull shirt on, so there's a logo that you can't put on anyway. So this is a fun shot for friends and family. It is not a great shot to share with clients. So that's my opinion of that. Let's see if we have some stills. Oh, here's another one. Here's another still. This is obviously an Indian wedding because there's the, what is it called on the hand? The henna?
Henna.
Yes,
henna.
Thank you. Henna. So we've got some amazing henna. I love that. I wish we could see a little bit more of the henna actually on the hand, but I like the detail. It shows, I don't know if this is an heirloom or what, but this is definitely the details on that earring. And so if that earring was meaningful in some way to the family or the bride, perhaps it was given to her from a relative or something. That's pretty cool. I love the shallow depth of field. I love the henna. And this would be great in a series of photos that show details, the pins, the hands, the things like that. Again, it's great. And I love that we know that it's an Indian wedding from these little details. It's really
There's
cool.
There's the watermark again.
And the watermark.
In that instance, it's really distracting.
It is. It's totally distracting.
Right over what I want to look at.
Right, but I think that's on purpose. Though,
I know it is, but
on there, this
chaos.
This is why I don't have kids. This is a great shot. So Jason actually wanted us to go and look at his entire site. We don't have time to do that, but we'll make a note and come back to it because Jason, I think it deserves that. We already talked to Lance's stuff. He got a web redemption. Here's a nice shot of Prentice Danner's photo. This is, I think, a good start to a great portrait. This model is beautiful. The light is beautiful. The composition is okay. The thing that I would say is her pose is horrible. She looks like she's about to fall over. You've chopped her fingers off. She's not really connecting with the camera. So the thing I like about it is you have a beautiful girl in this shot. The thing I don't like about it is she's all slouchy and looks like she wants to be somewhere else. And it's probably one of those things that is like a one frame away from a great shot, because she's, go away, color monkey. Because she's obviously beautiful. Obviously the light's right. But it's just not the right frame. Right. Because she looks like, it's between frames. So we need to really work with her a little bit more, maybe have her eyes look at the camera. There's a lot of things you could do with this, getting in very, very close. We just have no connection to this person. And so it's just lacking a little bit of life. Technically, great.
It's probably a good shoot, probably just not the best photo of the shoot.
Right.
Or so we would hope.
Exactly. I think there's probably lots of stuff here, but I want to know more of this girl. Just pull some more from her. That'd be really good. This shot right here, I think, is not in vogue.
I do not care for that one bit.
So the reason I don't like this is it's very monochromatic. So we have sort of yellow, gold, yellow, gold. And so these colors all sort of blend together, and it looks like she's going to the bathroom.
That was the first thing I thought.
That's the very first thing I thought.
She is sitting on a toilet is what it looks like to me.
Yeah, I thought, man, she's just working on a growler. That's what I thought. So, again,
Maybe she lives in Alaska. That's what they do there.
I don't know. But it's not the photo that's necessarily bad. I mean, technically, it's a decent photo. It's got shallow depth of field. Everything's in focus. It's the pose. And so if you're going to show somebody in this pose, you need to show the rest, right? Because it definitely, anybody that looks at this picture, and maybe it's just, I'm an 8th grader. No. Yeah, but maybe it looks like the cover of...
Well, the people in the chat are agreeing with us.
Yeah, everybody's saying that.
Pose. Yes. So.
You could sell this to, a book. All fashion models poop. Maybe that's it. I don't know. So I feel bad, for the model in this one, because she's going to watch this and be like, what? Take that down.
You posted a picture of me. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my opinion of that. Technically, you've got some great stuff. I'm sure she's attractive, but she looks like she's just pooping. This is, I think, the same model that we just looked at with the thing coming out of her face.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So this, I'm going to talk about the retouching. It looks like that frequency separation retouching that's difficult to do, and I think it's done pretty well here, where we have that artificially perfect skin with that, there's like that very definite look. And so for this, I think it's cropped too closely. It's just too close of a crop, and you can see this crop to the eyelash on one side and to the cheekbone on the other side. We've got half a finger.
Yeah,
so
too close.
Yeah, the crop is too close, but the retouching is done well. And so I think kudos to the retouching, not so great to the composition or the cropping on that. I do like the color palette. It's all pink and light, that's consistent.
Rosy.
Right. It looks like there was a makeup artist involved here at some point, or at least somebody that was thinking about some of those things. And then we have this shot right here. This is a tribute to a classic pinup. That's what this is attempting to be.
Well, thanks for providing some context.
Right. So in context, this is a 50s pinup throwback, kind of maybe a 40s pinup actually, of girl in a one-piece polka dot swimsuit, high heels, etc. So this is the kind of stuff that World War II pilots and crews used to create nose art on their planes. So
the nose art is cool.
The nose art is great, and a lot of that photography from that era, all those pinups were kitschy like this. And so I don't really blame the photographer for doing that. I think it's actually a shot that was well executed and conceived, knowing that era of pinup photography. So that's great. But this doesn't do it for me.
Me neither. Not like the clouds kind of in the background are a little weird, and I know the pinup was a little plumpier time, but the thigh is a little, I'm immediately going right to that.
Yeah, to this right here?
Now. Yep.
Well, to me, I think she's got a great shape. So, but this triangle right here on the wheel matches her leg almost.
Yeah, you're right.
And so it looks like she's got her leg wedged into the wheel. And so that's what bothers me.
She's got to steer the boat.
Yeah, it looks like she got her leg caught. So I think on this one, it's a concept that I don't love because that's not my style of photography, but a lot of people do love that. And so judging it through those eyes, I think, well done. I like the color.
I like the red heels, how those pop.
Right.
You know, those are cool.
Right. And I think that's all fine. I just think that we've got this these lines right here that are converging that cause problems for me. The other thing that causes an issue for me is we've got this rope right here and this wheel, and I'm not sure what this is, but maybe it's a rope tie-off. It looks like a studio thing, and nothing on this side over here. So there's a sort of a triangle that's formed right here.
I think the rope's where the pirate's swing is.
Maybe so. The plank is over there. Yeah, we've got this left lower corner triangle on this side that's got all kinds of stuff, and then on the almost the opposite side we have nothing. And so I think it needs more in the set on the opposite side to match the left side. And so this may have been built by this person. So if this was built, then build some more.
Yeah, I mean, it looks very built to me. So
yeah.
Get back to work.
Get back to work. So yeah, good start. I like that, but it just needs a little bit more work. Okay, so we're out of time. We've gone through a bunch of these different things. Unfortunately, we don't have time because this is great. I want to talk about this, but we don't. But what I would encourage people to do are two things to help us bring more of these reviews. We're going to do another one, I think, next week, I want to say, sometime. Sweet. Yeah, it's coming up pretty soon. But if we want to do more, please, on our Facebook page, give us some comments, give us some more photos to review. And then also, we're going to try to be doing these more often. And we can do that with the help of our sponsor, which is Squarespace. And so if you're looking for a website, we highly encourage you to zip over to squarespace.com, use the offer code SNAPFactory, and remember, you can get up to 10% off your first purchase, and there's a free trial. There's no credit card needed to sign up. You can try it out and see if it works for you. It's $8 a month if you decide to go ahead and do it.
Cross-platform.
Absolutely. And so do that if you're looking for a website, and not only are you going to help yourself, you're going to help us be able to bring more of these to you. And so that's how that works. So without further ado, I think we've completed everything. Are there any questions that we have missed?
We don't have questions. We actually do. The gentleman who submitted the last pinup, it is a composite.
It's a composite. Okay, then that's pretty good. So just keep working on that other side of the photo because there's just a distinct triangle of stuff, and then move that wheel because you can fix those converging lines, and so fix it. If it's a composite, you can put that wheel wherever you want. Maybe put it on the other side. I don't know. Cool. Or make it a smaller wheel or something.
Well, there seems to be a lot of demand for your critique. So,
okay.
We're ready for more shows.
We're ready for more shows, and I think we're going to try to do even more just photo critiques, not portfolio
Those are fun.
critiques. Yeah. So, and we'll try to give a little bit more heads up next time so we can just crank through as many photos as possible because I love it. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I really enjoy it.
Yeah. So thanks for joining us. Don't forget to check out snapfactory.com/live for all of our online workshops. If you're not a friend of mine on Facebook, make sure that you go and like my Facebook page because I'm always updating Facebook with where I am and what I'm doing and where I'm traveling and different workshops and free stuff, all that kind of stuff that's going on. And then also make sure you check out squarespace.com and use the offer code SNAPFactory so that we can keep bringing these to you hopefully weekly. That'd be awesome.
That'd be great. Cool.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks,
We'll
everybody.
see you again next time.
See ya.
This episode is brought to you by Squarespace, the all-in-one platform that makes it fast and easy to create your own professional website or online portfolio. For a free trial and 10% off your first purchase, go to squarespace.com and use offer code SNAPFactory.